To facilitate the close of our second session today, we are pleased to present Lynne Marie Wanamaker. Ms. Wanamaker is a nationally recognized expert in empowerment-based social justice informed violence prevention strategies. She writes, speaks, and teaches about the ways that individuals and communities can take action to interrupt the epidemic of violence, inviting us all to raise your voice to end sexual violence. She will offer an interactive opportunity for each of us to use our voices today.
I'm here because I believe that a life free from violence should be a right and not a privilege. When we talk about sexual violence, we often call it a gendered problem. And in that word gendered is a paradox. On the one hand, we know that people of all genders can be affected by sexual violence as victims, survivors, and perpetrators. And on the other hand, we know that the overwhelming majority of victims and survivors of sexual violence are women, and that the violence visited upon them is delivered most often by men, usually men that they know, frequently their intimate partners. And despite the fact that our public health authorities like the CDC do not keep records regarding people who identify outside the gender binary, we also know that trans women are at elevated risk of interpersonal violence. Now, when the negative effects of a social problem disproportionately accrue to some group of people because of their social identity, we have a word for that, and that word is oppression. Which is why it's not a great surprise that one thing that correlates with finding solutions to the problem of sexual violence is the presence of a vibrant, grassroots feminist movement. That's us. And when we think about sexual violence through an oppression lens, it reveals a paradox central to the problem of prevention. Because on the one hand, the greatest moral responsibility to stop sexual violence lies with those who perpetrate it.
Right.
Yes. There's nothing that any one of us could do or be that would make us deserve to be assaulted. And in any act of violence, there is one person responsible. That is the perpetrator. And it is also true that those of us most negatively affected, those of us at elevated risk, those of us who have been hurt before, and our allies, we have the greatest motivation to take action. Dr. Martin Luther King told us, we know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. For 25 years, I've been privileged to study and then teach a method of violence prevention that arose from the feminist grassroots. We call it feminist empowerment self-defense. And I was privileged to be taught by pioneers who were articulately anti-racist in their feminism and explicitly survivor-centered in their delivery of violence prevention methods. I am honored to share with you the pillars of this anti-violence practice today. This is a practice which has been demonstrated to reduce the risk of assault and to deliver concrete skills that can be used on one's own or on another's behalf if there is imminent danger. It is also a non-prescriptive practice. It is a toolkit, and in that toolkit are many tools that you already have. Because this event is a celebration of your voices, we're going to do a little call and response a few times. And then how that works is I say something and then you say it back, right? Call and response. So I'm going to tell you about how we organize the skills of feminist empowerment self-defense. We call them the 5 fingers of self-defense. And they are think, yell, run, fight, tell. Think. Think. Yell. Yell. Run. Run. Fight. Fight. Tell. Tell. Think, yell, run, fight, tell.
Think, yell, run, fight, tell.
You got it. You can learn self-defense in 5 minutes. You can commit your whole life to it. A very concentrated lesson. So think is everything that you do with your mind to create greater safety. It's your awareness and your instincts. And it's also your skill to settle strong emotions like fear or anger so that you can be clear-headed and think about what you're going to do next. So we're going to practice that right now, and I invite you to sit in a way that creates space in your torso. Feel your feet on the ground, and your back and your legs in your seat. And keep your eyes open. Be aware of the space around you, the entrances and exits to this room, the people who are nearby. And at the same time, bring your awareness to your breath. Your breath is always with you. It is always available to ground and calm you and to bring oxygen to your brain so you can think of what you're going to do next. The next skill is yell. And yell is everything you do with communication, verbal and nonverbal. And in our family, we talk about strong voice. A strong voice is assertive, it's firm, it's declarative, it's confident, and it's consistent with your body language. Your strong voice can be used to deliver an enthusiastic yes to anything you really want, like a hug when you really want a hug, or a cupcake when you want a cupcake, or a strong and vibrant feminist movement.
Yes. Yes.
Your strong voice can also be used to set a limit when something doesn't feel right to you. And it can also be used to draw attention and call for help. So we're going to do a strong voice exercise, and I want you to use that posture that you just practiced and that space in your body, and I'll say something and you'll say it back to me. Yes.
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 No.
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 You're too close.
You're too close.
Back off.
Back off.
Go away.
Go away.
No.
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 Run means to create distance between yourself and danger. It can mean knowing the early warning signs that somebody is inclined to use violence in a relationship and putting the brakes on that relationship, moving away from it very, very early. And it can mean running away when danger is imminent. We're not going to practice run today, but I want you to think about the ways in your life that you notice things that are healthy and positive and healing for you, and you move towards them. And the ways that you notice when things are not healthy for you, when they don't feel safe, and you move away from them. Those are the seeds of run. Now, fight is fight back if you have to, and with appropriate force. And we use strong parts of our body into relatively vulnerable parts of the attacker's body so we can cause damage and remove ourselves from the situation. We don't want to hurt anyone. Sometimes we have to. So I invite you to stand if you're willing and able. And take this strong part of your hand, you may know it from making bread, or from working clay, and tap it against your chin or against your temple. It's right there, you already have it, yeah? Strong part of your hand. And you're gonna put that out about nose height, and you'll have your other hand up, and switch hands. And switch, and switch, and switch, and switch, and rest for a second. Now we know that when we add our voices to anything, we have more power. So now we're going to strike a little bit faster, and we're going to add a good, loud no to it. And it's going to look like this. No! I'll count, and then we'll all strike together. Ready? 1.
No.
2.
No.
3.
No.
4.
No.
5.
No.
6.
No.
7.
No.
8.
No.
9.
No.
10.
No.
Beautiful. shorthand for tell and tell and tell and tell. Some of us will have the opportunity to tell in a way that may bring justice. But all of us who have been hurt before in ways that were not our fault have the chance to tell as part of our own healing and recovery. And all of us have the opportunity to be someone worthy of telling. How survivors are received by their community has a tremendous impact on their recovery and healing. And the trauma expert Judith Herman has said that even more than justice, survivors need to know the presence of restorative love in the world. We can be that restorative love for one another. So I want to end by giving you some phrases that you could have in your pocket if someone does you the great honor of disclosing harm that was done to them. And you might also want to have some of these phrases on hand if you find yourself in a conversation about sexual violence, something in the media or the broader community, and you want to say something that shows that you stand with the courage and resilience of survivors. When we do this call and response, I want to encourage you not to look at me, but to look around at one another and to see that you are part of a vibrant feminist movement that is the embodiment of restorative love. I believe you.
I believe you.
That was not your fault.
That's not your fault.
No one deserves that.
No one deserves that.
That must have been really hard.
That must have been really hard.
She did the best she could.
She did the best she could.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
You are not alone.
You are not